want that. Good evening. Skip bits. And we're in. And we're in. We're all done. Can someone do a quick sound and vision just to make sure that it sounds okay, looks okay, that there's nothing that I've missed and it's all gone completely wrong? Master Fisherman, hey! first message up on the screen. Could you just check that it looks and sounds okay, buddy? Just to make sure before it gets too far into it that it doesn't all go completely wrong. Let's have a look. Danny, Fisherman Paul, yeah, all good. Yeah, that's all I needed, just to make sure that didn't want to get too far into it and then it all go wrong. Let's have a look. So I'm not going to start calling out everyone's names, guys, seriously, because they're coming in thick and fast here. I'm struggling to keep up. Let's just start picking out. Give everyone a chance to log on. I don't know if you can see by the picture, it's a bit of a giveaway for the competition this year, but this is the biggest competition of the year for the channel. So I'm going to do monthly ones, but this is the cherry on the cake. Everything that we've done last year is sort of brought up to this point. So we'll just keep track of who's coming in, who's asking questions, bits and pieces. Feel free to fire in some questions, guys, if you want to talk about anything. Just give everyone a chance to log in that's interested in the competition. So just quick. Fisherman Paul, Ian Timms, Tris Groves, Brian Haywood, Master Fisherman, lots of regular names. Els Fishing Adventures, Happy New Year, buddy. Hope you're safe and well. Jamie Ayres, what have I been up to? Lots. What have I been up to? That's an expansive question. That's a big question. I've been up to loads. We'll get there in a sec. We'll talk through. Sounds good, looks good. Okay, thank you very much. I haven't cracked anyone's lenses on their cameras. Scott Harris, Andy Cole, yeah. Evening, fellas. It's nice to see you all logging in, supporting the channel as usual. I love recognising the names as I read through. I've talked to most of you separately outside of this forum or in the comments sections or the community channel. It's quite a powerful thing. How am I feeling now? I was never ill, so I didn't want that to be misleading, but basically I was sent home from work. I'd had contact with someone that had been diagnosed as positive. So obviously the first thing you do, you have to go into isolation. Because we're key workers, I then had a test, waited 48 hours for the test results on top of the time since the contact was made. And then I got an email and messages through the government website saying that I didn't have to isolate anymore. I could return to work. But if I show any symptoms, then go into immediate isolation. So the whole scenario is very strange to me, to be honest. I don't want to go too far into COVID discussions because I know a lot of people want to escape from that kind of conversation. But yeah, strange. It was all on a safety basis. It was all precautionary, and it was all to make sure that I didn't act as a conduit to pass it on to someone else. But we've broken that contact, so I proved negative. I got a negative result. Happy New Year to everyone. Yeah. Inglorious Fishing. Off fishing for some red mullet. I caught one red mullet last year and it's on my list of things that I want to I've got a venue. I've got the rigs in my mind that I'm going to use. I've got a venue, rigs, baits. Not the right time of year for me at the moment. So a little bit later on, I'm going to target some red mullet. I'd love to catch some red mullet. They're cracking fish. Phil Carpenter even might have been fishing. I was going to go fishing this morning, but I had a date with Morgan last night and Morgan had other ideas, so I overslept this morning. I overslept and I woke up rough as a badger, proper woke up, I was a mess really. Yeah, so it was an unexpected one. It sort of creeped up on me. I had no plans to have a little meeting with Morgan last night, but Morgan found me. I overslept this morning. I did have some plans for this morning as well, but before that I was in isolation, so I couldn't. Not the right thing to do. I am well and I am keeping safe, Dan. Colin, good evening, buddy. Tough Bets, and Happy New Year again. Live on Facebook, not YouTube. I'm banned from lives. Dano, what did you do to be so naughty to be banned from lives? as a precautionary, so I don't make the same mistake. I don't know how that works. I'm not sure. Pete, good evening, buddy. Yeah, let's quick down. Fed up with it. Question: anyone have any recommendations? Summer wading jackets, smocks, that size? Owen Downey. Yeah. Ask the questions. I'm sure someone on here will be able to fire something back. I don't know. I'm not in. I used to do some fluff chucking. I've got my nice Gucci rod in the workshop, and all my gear. I went through it. I was devastated. I saved up. I used to do a little bit of fly fishing, and I saved up, and I got this really nice hand-built rod and this really nice reel and all the gear. And I used to go with my uncle, who's sadly passed away since. So I thought, you know what? Last year I'll go through all my gear, get my bag out and all my boxes of flies and all that, and I'll have a good clear through, tidy it all up. You know, I like to be tidy in the workshop on the bench. A mouse had made a house in my bag and trashed the lot. It had burrowed in and it had chewed everything up to make its own little. It made this amazing little house. It was like a grapefruit with a little hole, and it had made like itself a Gucci palace. You wasn't in there anymore. It'd done a runner. But yeah, he trashed all my fly fishing gear. Yeah, good evening, Pete. Thank you very much, mate. Jamie, Thomas, you've been banging blondes. Is that to Dano? Because I watched his video earlier on, Captain Dano, with his blonde ray whilst drifting for turbos. Ian Turner, Master Fisherman, Phil Carpenter. Yeah, Morgan hit you on the head. Yeah, he did, mate. He sneaked up behind me, give me a good clubbing. Lee Madden, good evening, buddy. Tough Bets, my lad is stickers on his toe. Yeah, stickers have gone a bit quiet on the channel. I'm not trying to push them or anything, but sticker purchases have gone a bit quiet. They helped buy the prizes. Just throw that one in there. Pull the pin on the grenade and throw it in. Copyright infringement. Oh, okay. So you swapped 1,200 subs for copyright infringement. I'm not doing that. Colin, yeah, does a lot of fly fishing. Yeah, I like the capture because on a little whippy rod and the way they go and you steer the fish around and it's proper angling. It's all technique and stuff. But you travel all the way to a decent water, and then you know the fish are in one place and the wind's in your face, and no matter how much you whip that bit of line around, it ain't getting out there. I had more days like that than I had days where it went exactly where I wanted it to. So I don't know. And it got a bit samey. You know, you can see the fish, you know what size the fish is, you're going to catch that fish. I like the surprise, you know. You feel the weight and you have the fight and you're telling your mate, I think it's this, I think it's that, and then a doggy pops up. Or you think it's this and you think it's that, and then a honking great big monster pops up, you know. That's what I like. I like that surprise. Good evening, Chris. Good evening, Matt. Leigh Taylor, good evening, buddy. Thank you very much for logging in. Quite important that you had. Oh right, right. So Facebook. If you've messaged me on Facebook, the messenger on Facebook is playing up. So I will check that as soon as I come off here. I promise you. I don't like missing. You know, if someone's made the effort to contact me or message me or something, I will make the effort to check that. So I wasn't aware that you had. Yeah, Dano's Blonde Rays fishing was awesome. Yeah, because I want to do some drifting on the boat. That's something else I'd like to try at some point. But my focus at the moment, I need to get back out on the shore. Right, so saying that, competition. So this is quite a significant competition, and bear with me if I go slowly. Excuse me. But the details will be up in the description. I will type the details up and I'll be very clear and focused in what is in the description. But the competition for this is to run through into the summer. So we're going to have monthly competitions on the channel as always. You're not going to miss a competition. You know, February, March, April, May, June, July onwards and all the rest of it. But this start of the year, I'm doing this deliberately so that everyone gets a chance to, one, get their head round it, and two, the planning time and the way the country is at the moment. When I say the country, I mean England, Ireland, Scotland and Wales, the UK, the United Kingdom, because everyone's doing different things at the moment and it's going to affect the competition prize. So the competition prize is a boat out of Oban for the day for yourselves, for 2 competition prize winners, skippered by Leigh Taylor on the Laura Dawn 2. Rods, reels, tackle, kit, bait, putting onto the fish, assisting with the capture and the release, and filmed by 2 cameramen. So we're going to have a production team on board this boat for this prize. This isn't for everyone. I totally understand that this prize isn't for everyone. It's not £75 worth of tackle, and it's not a set of ass waders that anyone, if they want it, and even if they didn't want it and they didn't want it, they could pass it on to someone else. This is very specific and it is fishing orientated, and it's a bucket list item as far as I'm concerned. The chance to do this with the skill of the skipper, the way the boat's rigged, the history behind the Laura Dawn 2. Anyone that's watched John Wilson fishing, when he caught his skate, the boat has got an extended history of being on the right place at the right time to catch the fish. Now that's not to put Leigh under any pressure, because Leigh is an amazing skipper. And if you want to know what's possible, then watch the video of the Oban special that we filmed last year. The prize is for 2 people on the boat for that day, with a spare day available if the weather was to turn or not be quite right. We've been in planning with this. This isn't just a quick thing that's just happened overnight. Leigh has very graciously guided me on when the best tides are, the best time of year, how we're going to sort the boat, how we're going to accommodate these people, how we're going to look after people. And then we've looked at the filming aspect. So the whole thing is going to be filmed. And my counterpart is going to be Stuart Harris, aka the Sweet Corn Kid. So me and Stu are going to film the day, drones, cameras, post-production, you know, all that kind of stuff. But then you get the opportunity to fish. And we're talking common skate in the range, and I will be corrected if I'm not right, between 20 and a possible £200. The day that I fished, we had 8 or 9 fish stacked throughout the day. Landed 5, lost one significant one, it was a big fish. And they ranged from £77 to 182, I think. So that's what's on offer. A boat for the day, with a possible spare day, out of Oban. Skipper, 2 assistants to film and support. 2 people fishing. I mean, me personally, I think it's an amazing prize. And then the caveats. So to make things as fair as possible, we will do everything we can do to make the experience a life experience. You need to be able to do it. You need to be able to, if you're going to enter the competition, you need to be able to stand up and fight what could possibly be a £200 fish. You need to be able to get yourself there, because everyone's travel arrangements will be so different, few and far between. We will help in any way we can, but you need to be able to get yourself there. And then accommodation. If by the time of the competition date, and this, I don't want this to sound wrong, but if I've achieved 4,000 subscribers, I will fund the accommodation in full. And I don't mean to trip anyone up on this, but if I haven't, that's sort of like a carrot. We will help out in any way we can. If I can support the accommodation, if I can assist with the accommodation, if I can pay for some of the accommodation. Everyone's requirements are so different that I can't predict what the person's going to require, or the standard that they're attuned to. So if this sounds like something you'd like to enter, the all-important date, the date that we intend going, and there is some flexibility, is the 20th to 21st of June. Which coincides with the longest day. It gives us the best weather window, the best opportunity that what's happening throughout the country has been resolved, and that this is a viable competition. We've got long daylight hours, so we can extend the day as long as necessary, and it's nice. It's going to be comfortable, it's going to be warm. The weather opportunity is going to be significantly better than other times of the year. And that's what we're offering. So June the 20th, 21st, that weekend, the longest day of the year, 2021, a boat out of Oban, fishing for common skate, fishing for monsters, up to £200. We can't guarantee what size, but we're going to do our best to get you that bucket list lifetime opportunity to fish. I will be there, Stu will be there, we will film everything, and we will try to make it the ultimate day to remember for competition winners. I've talked quite a lot, I've jibber jabbered, and I've probably lost track lost track of some of the things that might have been, but, and this is the most important thing, so I'm allowing multiple entries, 1 entry a month for subscribers. You have to be a subscriber, otherwise the computer won't pick your name. Please, please, please only enter if you intend and you are capable of taking part. Seriously, it needs to be, think a little bit, if you're unsure, we will accommodate whatever we can. Seriously, we will help out in any way we can. We really want this to be an amazing prize. Leigh's totally on board with it. He absolutely, he just wants people to experience the capture of these amazing creatures. Myself and Stu will assist in any way we can. So you need to be capable. You need to have the opportunity to be able to get there. You need to be able to take that time out. If you work every weekend of the year and you're guaranteed not to get flexibility of time off, it's a bit pointless entering. But yeah, so to enter, it's quite simple. Skate, S-K-A-T-E, Sierra Kilo, Alpha Tango Echo. Smash your entry in, be a subscriber, the computer won't pick you otherwise. You can put 1 entry in per month up until 1 month before the competition, and we will keep it fluid because we want to make sure it's going to be a little bit like herding cats with air horns, you know. I can't make it, I can't get there. No, I will facilitate and do the best I can to coincide for this one weekend. Skipper, boat, tackle, bait, myself, Stu, cameras, drones, you name it. So you're not only getting the opportunity to do the fishing out of what is an absolutely stunning venue. It is absolutely amazing. Watch I'm not plugging the video because of it, but just watch the video. You see the kind of scenery that there is. Yeah, and it will be a 1 hour special, and it will be the culmination of pretty much the ultimate competition for the year, I think. We're still going to carry on with the monthly competitions and draws. So I'll try and catch up with some comments now. Let's have a look. I fully expect all you hardcore fishermen on there, seriously. I really, if you can grab the concept of what it's hard for me to describe. If you can grab the concept of what we're trying to offer and support, I think it's an amazing opportunity. Let's have it. Hi from Cork, Ireland. Hope is that Gary Farrell? Yeah, I'm all good, mate. Fly fishing from Roxall boat. I want to do some saltwater fly fishing, just because I want to mix things up a bit. I'd like to have a go. On your doorstep. For some people, it's going to be a horrendous journey. I drove it last year, and it's about 10 hours from the south coast to Oban, doing it respectfully, taking plenty of stops, and just it's easiest to drive through the night, to be honest, because then there's no traffic and you've got nothing else. Get there in the daylight hours. Let's have a look. Hope you're safe and well. See you on Pound March fishing Humber. Yeah, so places are quiet at the moment. Matt's keen. Yeah, I know this isn't going to be for everyone. It's not that I had any kind of conflict in what I was thinking, because we do a monthly prize competition. If you'd like reels, rods, tackle, beach shelters, waders, tackle boxes, that's all that's been offered in the past year, and I'll continue to offer that on a monthly basis throughout this year. This is just something completely different, I think very special, and geared up to reward the people that subscribe and watch the channel. You know, we'd like to think that, you know, there's some other fishermen out there that would really like to do this and maybe not had the opportunity. What have we got here? Good luck, top prize, maybe. Yeah, so all the skates come in. See, yeah. Myself and Mike will give you 110%. Yeah, so if any of you are unsure, Leigh Taylor, skipper of the Laura Dawn 2, when he's up on the comments section here, he is the Oban Fisher. So just have a quick look through. Obviously, we're going to get a lot of the old Pompey skate, Darren Magpie. Oh, Darren Magpie. Sorry, my apologies. Maple. I don't know how I read that wrong. My brain saw one thing, my voice said something else. Yeah. Yeah, and Dan Richards, drive your motorhome up there, because you can wild camp. I slept in the van last time. I didn't stay in accommodation last time. I slept in the van when I went up off the boat. I slept in the van when I went up off the shore. You can wild camp. There's some amazing spots around there. Or Oban itself, there's plenty of accommodation, B&Bs, hotels, that kind of stuff, because it's all geared up for tourism. We've thought long and hard about this, so the finer details and everything else that's involved in this has been considered quite in depth. So there's loads of options. Yeah, we will support however it comes about. It's the focus of the weekend of fishing that's the main thing. Yeah, Andy, seriously, I appreciate your sentiment there. So if you feel that there's a reason why you wouldn't be able to do it, then rather than clog up the system or take the opportunity that someone else would like to, I totally endorse that. I really appreciate that, and thank you very much, mate, for that comment. If you would have said it's for Mackie bashing, that might be something else. You got to go Mackie bashing to go skate bashing. You got to go and get your fresh bait to be, so you can do that as well if you want. Without stopping, but well worth the journey. Yeah. So if you want to travel for that period, I mean, like I say, I drove for, I think it was 10 hours, 10 quarter hours, something like that. When am I going to be out on the beach? It should have been this morning. But I overslept and I was rough as a badger. Yeah, Joshua Burke, I drove Southampton to Oban. It was 10 hours. When you're out next local, mate? Very soon, as soon as I can, to be honest. Obviously that little bit where I had to isolate recently, the period over Christmas and all the other bit, I feel like I've missed out a little bit, to be honest. Scotland mushroom foraging and fishing. You've got to change that name, mate, because you can just say hi, Mark, and I've got to say Scotland mushroom foraging. Good evening, buddy. How are you? Hope you're well. Barmy Andy, yeah. If anyone's got any questions, by the way, because obviously the that's the details of the competition. I'll type it all out in full with the details and as much information as I can put in the description. I won't do it now. I'll do it on the computer afterwards because it's nicer typing out on the rather than trying to do it on a phone. But yeah, if anyone's got any questions or any other bits and pieces, if you want to cover anything else. Yeah, Scott Harris, West Wales fishing, 9.5 hour drive. Yeah, it's all good. It's saltwater lure fishing. Beard. Is that me? Is it you taking the mickey out of my yeah. I keep growing a bit and then shaving it off and growing a bit. Don't like it. Shaving it off, shaving my head off, shaving my beard off, growing it a bit. You know, I don't know what I want to do. It's nice not shaving every day, to be honest. But yeah, if anyone's got any questions, anyone wants anything clarified, if anyone wants to know anything else, what have I been doing lately? I know a lot of people are more interested in the shore fishing, but I've done a lot of work on the boat over the Christmas break. I didn't do any work on the van. The van's just been exactly what a van is. It's just been a Trojan. It's just carried on trundling on through, you know. It's good on fuel, it's reliable. It's not the prettiest of things. In fact, it's quite an ugly van because it's tall and short. It's not like a posh van. It is a proper van, if that makes sense. But yeah, lots of work on the boat, loads of electrical work because I needed that. Bait table, a proper big bait table. That's all been done. Bit daunting when you're drilling holes in your boat. That's not nice. I didn't like that. But yeah. Let's have a look. Has Leigh got his page up and running? Yes, a Facebook page and internet page. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't looked. I tend to talk to him direct. But yeah, I'm going to speak to him, or we're going to have a look at that, because I think I might be able to help with some of that. You know, the old what's the word they call it? Not optimization. I can't remember the word for it now. It's gone clean out of my head. But yeah, to make sure that you get the right hits and you get looked at properly and all that kind of stuff. It's quite complicated, actually. Matt Elder would drive for 36 hours. That's a long old day, that. A day and a half driving. I don't think I would want to. I'd want to split that. I want to see you do more lure fishing, pal. We will collaborate. Yeah, lure fishing. Yeah, definitely. So this year, how it's panning out. So might as well touch on this, I suppose. So anyone that, if you've entered the competition and you want to zip off and go and watch Dano, he's doing his live and all that kind of stuff, I won't be offended. But yeah, so loads planned, loads loosely planned. Competitions are roughly sketched out in my mind. The big one for June, for this one, the big build up to it. That's sort of like the backbone of what's going to happen this year. Shore fishing, I've got in my mind what species I want to capture at what point. I'm targeting some very specific ones this year that are different than what we did last year. And variation. Some of the things I've done last year, don't be offended or upset if I revisit certain things, because if I think I can do it better or update it or make it a better film or a nicer thing to watch, then I will. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm looking for new stuff to do as well. Definitely the species. I've got some really interesting species to chase this year. Been talking to some very knowledgeable people about how, where and when. And I think it's going to be interesting. If it stops being interesting, then I'll stop doing it. Any specific fish or PB you're going after this year? So there's two things I'd like to do. Shore fishing focus, I didn't manage a double figure smoothhound last year. Got very close, can't remember what it was now, £9 something. I'd like a double figure smoothhound from the shore, and I'd like a stingray from either the shore or the boat, or both. And the reason why I say that is one of the places I know that fishes particularly well for stingray is probably easier access by boat, but that doesn't stop me from trying. I've got two venues at complete different ends of the spectrum for the Solent to try. So stingray, smoothhound, double figure smoothhound, any size stingray, just for the experience. And there's a couple of other species that I'm going to target. I'm going to keep those ones close to my chest because they're going to be sort of surprise ones, I think, is probably the best way of going for that. Toby Taylor, thank you very much, buddy. I appreciate that. Part of the reason for picking the middle of the summer is that's the most likely time that it's going to be the most stable weather. So if you're unsure about boats, don't get me wrong, I think that might be in the back of some people's minds. But it's a big boat, it's very stable, and it should be, and that's why we're including the spare day, just in case. If the wind got up or if something happened, if we've travelled that far, that's why we're adding that spare day into it as a possible overrun. So yeah. And I think the video would be a really good memory for anyone, you know, the competition winners, because not only will they have that day, they won't have to focus on any of that bit where, you know, like the trophy shot of you with your fish, because it's going to be significant. If you're going to catch something, it's going to be significant. And you're going to see yourself in a whole new light, aren't you? Because you're going to see what is, and not personally from me, but I'm going to have assistance from Stu. Stu's a professional, you know. He's an author, a filmmaker, and an amazing angler as well. So Stu's going to be there on the day with different camera angles and different thoughts, and two people putting their minds together to capture the whole thing should make it pretty good, I think. Don't want to big ourselves up, but we're going all out for this. I need to replace 2 rod eyes, mate. Do you have a video on this topic? And what a fantastic prize. Right, so Bobby Swells, replacing rod eyes. I'm not the world's best at it. If I put my mind to it and I practice it, I'm more than confident that I could do it. Do I do it on a regular basis? I don't. And to be honest, I can't remember the last time I broke a rod eye. And that's not to say, that's not trying to say anything. I just can't remember the last time I've dropped my rod. I was gutted. I dropped one of my, I think I dropped one of my Shakespeare's. You know, not an expensive rod, but I dropped one. And the first thing you do is look for the ceramic or the insert, don't you? Like, oh no! But I think I marked the reel that day. Yeah, I think the rod came off the rod stand and it marked the reel, but the rod came off scot-free. I haven't got a video on it, and it's not something I regularly do, so I wouldn't want to send you on a bum steer, really. I'm pretty sure there must be some other people out there that are very skilled at that and could probably show you. It was a bit long, better, Scotland MFF. I'm not too sure what that is for. Is that for the, to make films better, if they're a bit long? I don't know. Some people like the longer films. It's hard to cut stuff out. I start off with a lot of footage and then I pare it down. And basically that just means cropping and deleting everything you think that people don't want to watch. You start off with 3 or 4 hours worth of footage and you end up with a 30-minute film. For the specials I try to aim, but it's not a goal, for about an hour. You know, people can stop halfway and watch the rest at a later time. Or watch the whole lot, I don't know. Chris Timms, having to shield. Is that a CV? And you're shielding because of that? Yeah, Chris, seriously, it's a nice lifeline, isn't it, to be able to watch what you want to watch, because I think this sort of platform's got a lot of legs to go in the future as well, because you watch mainstream TV, even Sky or, you know, on demand and all that kind of stuff. I looked earlier on, just out of curiosity, out of 900 channels on my Virgin box, there wasn't a single fishing programme on. That blows me away. I can't. The amount of repeats and duplications. You know, you look through. There's 9 channels showing Top Gear repeats. There's 24 cookery programmes, most of which are repeats. But I couldn't find a single fishing programme on any of the channels. It's one of the most. It's the most popular sport in the country. Participation sport in the country. Lee Madden would love to catch a smooth hound. Where are you from, Lee? Where are you fishing? Maybe we can help. Pete Newell skate. Sorry I'm late. It's all good, mate. It's all good. Don't worry about it. As long as you get your entry in. Andy Collins, a place mark off Portland. The mussel beds were blown to bits a few years ago. I was talking about this exact same thing about a position in the Solent. So a guy that I fish with and a fishing buddy, he might have commented earlier on, Jamie Ayres, we were talking about place fishing, and a place, no pun intended, a mark for place fishing that used to be absolutely amazing. There was a series of big storms, the seabeds changed, and you can't catch place there anymore. So you may find a really good mark. That doesn't mean it's there forever, does it? You know, things change, and you know, sculptures and bottom types and all that all changes. Is this the Wayne Swatton? Is this the prize you've been waiting for? I don't know, buddy. Is this the prize you've been waiting for? Hello. I just got to. I don't know, mate. Is this the one you want? Get your entry in anyway. Merch soon, like in the t-shirt. I've been long-term testing t-shirts, the jumper is some parts over there, and hoodies. I love the hoodie. The hoodie is absolutely. I haven't got it here. Oh yeah, I have. Oh no, I haven't. Yeah, I'm lying. Oh, this wasn't prepared. I'm gonna break something. So Mrs. W's very kindly washed this for me. This has been, I have absolutely kicked the nuts out of this. This has been, when I've been burning stuff in my log burner, the hood is double thickness, and I like it. It's just starting to go bobbly now, seriously. And when I say I have abused this, I've worn it underneath my thermal gear, yeah. So I'm more than happy to sort of endorse and start taking orders for these. I think I'm gonna have to organise something and put it up, aren't I? So the t-shirts are very good, really nice, good quality. I went for the higher quality material. You get different grades. You can get the really thin, nasty stuff and all. But I wanted to see what it all washed up like and whether it, you know, like whether I'd be disappointed with it. I don't want to put anything up that I won't buy myself, you know. Same with all the prizes as well. Every prize that I've offered, I would have liked myself. But merch, I can't find anyone that does the quality and can do the ordering process and all the rest of it without charging ridiculous amounts of money. When I say ridiculous amounts of money, I really like that hoodie. Do I like it 40 odd pound? I don't think so. Who's going to pay 40 odd pound for a hoodie? I suppose some people will if they want it. You know, a t-shirt, 12, 15 pound for a t-shirt, and even that's pushing your luck. To go through one of these companies, they want 20 odd quid, and that's just expensive in my mind. So just going to be fishing this year. It's hardcore fisherman. Yeah, so I think, me personally, it's really nice when you go to a venue, you've got no target, and you just put out your feelers. You know, you put out rigs and rods that are literally just searching out to see what, and then if you do catch something, then focus on it and then see what you can get. But there's no more gratifying thing than, for argument's sake, and I do enjoy it, going hound fishing with 2 rods, with 2 rigs, single hooks, live crab, and knowing that when that rod goes, it's a hound. All you're fishing for is a hound. If you don't catch a hound, you ain't catching nothing. You're literally, and you can almost set your watch to it. You know when they're going to be there. You know where they're going to be. You know what they're going to take. All you need to do is put it there. It's amazing fishing. I enjoy it. It's really good. I don't think my hound video wasn't that good. I totally admit it. You get to see what I caught, but you don't see the takes. You don't see the battle that you have with the fish, because I was struggling with lighting and stuff. It's not easy. James just changed 2 rod tips today on your ugly sticks. My eyes on my ugly sticks, they got no inserts. They're like full metal. I don't know what material they are. I don't know the specs, you know. I don't know the detail. I could look it up and have a look, but they're really tough rods, those ugly sticks. I really like them. So that's from Jamie, that is. Yeah, so GSP Fishing's done a video on YouTube about placing rod eyes the other day. That'd be interesting to watch. I'll be interested to watch that myself. Let's have a look. I haven't got a TV. Is that because you haven't paid your licence? Not many people in Scotland pay their licence fee. Aye, laddie, I'm not paying it. Let's have a look. Wows. Good evening, Mark. Just got back from a short trip out on the shore and it's hard work at this time of year, isn't it? If you're fishing, specifically the Solent, this time of year, it's difficult. It is difficult. Skate, yeah, get your skates in. Have you mentioned what we've got to do in the comp? Yeah, type skate into the comments. Oh, Chris, yeah, my sympathies, mate, and I hope you're getting better. Lung cancer. That's a biggie, isn't it? I hope your recuperation and you're getting well and all that kind of stuff's good. You know, obviously you're shielding because of the COVID stuff and all that lot, and rightly so. You've got to look after yourself, buddy. But yeah, that's a big one, isn't it? Yeah, skate. Thank you, Skate. What is it? What is it? What's Skate? Let's have a look. Oban Scotland. Skate, yes, mate. A good challenge is a double figure hound from the boat on an LRF rod. Thought I'd hooked a marlin. It went to £14. Chris Belden. Yeah. I've got loads of things I want to try this year. Loads of things, different kit. My shore fishing this year is going to be the Century Fireblades. Last year it was the Shakespeare K2s and the Penn Surf Blasters. This year it's all going to be Centuries and the Penn 525s, which I've already found a weak point. So I mentioned it previously. I've had a little look-see, and yeah, they got 3 bearings inside. They got a large bearing and 2 small bearings. Now in my mind, I degreased and cleaned the small bearings because that felt like, or looked like, that took the load of the spool. So I degreased the factory grease and put gun oil in them. You can get all the different oils and all the rest of it. I thought good high quality oil would be gun oil, so I put gun oil in them. Those bearings are fine. They're perfect. No give, no play in them. The larger one that I didn't remove the factory grease from on one of my reels, absolutely lunched. You can actually move the race inside of the bearing, side to side, up and down. It's got that much play in it. Bearing the bearing's the size of about a 10p piece, the outer diameter, the fact that you can move it around and wiggle it around in your fingers, it's lunched. It's absolutely rubbish. And there's a lot of plastic in there. There's a lot of plastic to plastic, and you know, don't get me wrong, there's brass and there's ball race and there's bearings in there and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of plasticky stuff. It's definitely a Chinese reel. You know, people say if you're going to get a Penn reel, get the American versions, the earlier American versions. So one of the things I'm going to do is replace the races, the bearings in both of those 525s. So straight away, with very little use, 6 uses I think, one of the bearings has failed on one of those reels. So when I order the bearings and I swap them out, I'll film that. So what are we talking about there then? So Michael Cooper, can you give Rod G a shout out for driving us fishing this evening? Unfortunately a blank, but a new luck. Correctly social distancing, I would hope. But yeah, Rod G sounds like the man. Sounds like he's the boy. From Michael Cooper. Gareth Williams, get hybrid bearings for the Penns. If anyone's got a link for bearings for Penn 525 Mag 3s, I'd very much appreciate it. If anyone's got one and can copy and paste it into the comments, it would give me a jump start on ordering. I'm going to order 2 sets, so I'm going to do both reels at the same time. It's easier. Once you've started stripping one reel down, you've done it and you've got it in your head. I'll film it anyway. Do the second one while you've got all the tools and your setup and all the rest of it. But yeah, definitely. So 6 uses and the main larger bearing on one of my reels failed, and that's the one that I didn't tinker with. So it sort of says that, you know, it wasn't anything I did, and I've been careful to look at it. I'm not just going to shout things out and you know, like make them out to be anything they're not. I never had any kind of failure of any kind with the Surf Blasters. They're amazing. My Shimano Beastmasters are still running strong. I've had those a couple of years now. They're good reels with their own little intricacies. Pimpmyreel.com. All black dog tackle. I'll be able to look through the comments afterwards. It's really helpful, guys. Really appreciate the help. Yeah, so Century Fireblades this year. All my shore fishing's pretty much going to be done with those, except for when we're going for the big nasty stuff, the monsters, and the Ron Thompsons are going to come out. The Ron Thompsons and the BGs, the Daiwa BGs. Looking forward to trying those out. I wanted to try those out over the Christmas holiday, but you know, with the restrictions and the way things were going, it didn't feel right to travel. So yeah, where else are we going to go? Like to go to Cornwall. Like to spend more time Bristol Channel. That's somewhere that I don't even been once this year or last year. Only scratched the surface of that. And there's a South Wales. Would like to fish South Wales, so the other side, the Bristol Channel. Looking for someone to what's the right word? Not gilly, because that's not the right word, is it? Guide. I'd like someone that could guide from the South Wales side of the Bristol Channel, if anyone's interested in sort of meeting up and just giving us some pointers. Obviously, everything's dependent on the way everything's going, and personally, I think it's not really worth making too much in the way of plans now until March, April. You know, until the spring, clocks change, daylight hours, get over this sort of hump of the winter effect of COVID and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to get too far into it because people don't want to hear it. I've got bored of hearing it, to be honest, and that's not, you know, to demonise it or to make it out to be anything it's not. Just need a break from it. I had enough of hearing about Brexit. You know, 4 years of hearing about Brexit. It's enough to drive you crackers, isn't it? What else we got then? If we're running out of stuff for questions and all the rest of it, I'll call an end, guys. So yeah, so just to recap then, a boat for the day with a spare day, depending on weather and opportunity, out of Oban with the very skilled skipper Leigh Taylor on the Laura Dawn 2, tackle, rods, bait, 2 people to assist on the day, myself and Stu. We're very keen to make it the best day we can for the competition winners. We really want it to be a standout memorable day. And we're going to film everything. So we've got a waterproof drone that can land on water and film underwater. Should give some interesting angles. Got other drones that will be able to track and follow the boat on the way out and on the way in. Circle the boat even. Be able to get some interesting angles whilst people are actually angling, actually catching the fish. The scenery there is amazing. Scottish Lochs are absolutely stunning. The village itself, a town or village, I'm not quite sure how you'd classify it, is beautiful. The people are friendly. The drive into Oban, when you cross country from Loch Lomond into Oban, that's a stunning drive. If you're a driving person and you enjoy that kind of thing, then that in itself is a treat. And the road into Oban is an absolute treat as well. You circumnavigate Loch Lomond, so you go around Loch Lomond on the way there. Yeah, and I really truly believe that with the 3 of us supporting to make it the best we physically can, it's a fisherman's competition prize. It's a bucket list thing. Anyone that's ever considered doing it and has never quite got round to it, if this has nudged someone in the right direction to consider it and would like to win the competition, I really think it's a very focused competition. Type skate in the comment section. You can have 1 entry per month. You need to be a subscriber. I can't do anything about that. That is what the computer searches through for. It's on a comment picker software program on the computer. Yeah, 1 a month. Get your entries in. Entries will close 1 month before we go. And we will have to follow the guidelines for the country. So I understand totally that Scotland and England have different regulations, as do Wales, you know, locking down at different periods. But we are sort of hopeful that June, you know, back end of June, we should be past this. And you know, and it's something to look forward to. We're very conscious that people have got something to look forward to, something that, you know, you can really set your targets on. We can talk about it. You know, the winners will get private conversations with us, and we'll communicate with them privately offline, and sort out all the intricacies and all the bits and pieces, but also the build up. It's always the anticipation, I suppose, is the right word. That, you know, it's got serious potential. Serious potential. Bandit fishing for South Wales, yeah, appreciate that. I'll check that out. Have you fished in Ireland? I've protected fish in Ireland. Anyone knows my previous occupation? I did do a stint of 2.5 years fishery protection, in and out of, well, North and South Ireland, to be honest, but yeah, mainly in and out of Belfast, but then all around the southern coast of Scotland as well. We used to protect the trouser leg that projects out into UK waters. But have I actually fished the Irish coastline? No, I haven't, not at all. And that would be something interesting. That would be something I would be very interested in. Could you film if you won the comp for your own channel? Absolutely. I'm not precious about these things. Totally support, endorse, help. if that was something, I'd give you a copy of my footage as well, and you could copy, cut and chop it and integrate it. And if it's a different camera angle, if I could provide you with some drone footage that would help with yours as well. Seriously, it's not, none of this, nothing that I do is specific to me, the channel. I've got to be careful what you do with things, like look, Dano got caught out with some copyright things, so I've got to be careful with things like music and things that are played in the background, just like every other YouTuber. But no, if you win the competition, you've got your own YouTube channel, film it yourself. I'll even direct me, tell me what you want me to do, and I'll hold your camera for you. I'll do whatever I can to help. None of this is about the channel or myself. And Stuart is the same, and Leigh is very keen that it's not specifically about him skippering or his boat. He's more interested in the experience that you guys have. So if you're the competition winner, you're going to feel like you've won a competition. When you're out there, you will be the focus of our attention. It will all be about you. That's the prize. That's what we're offering, and we will do the very best we can. So if you have got a channel and you win, we'll share the footage. You can have copies of everything. We'll do, if you've got ideas of specific things you'd like done, we'll do that as well. So just a quick comment then from Leigh, a very nice comment as always. Good luck. If we can get the weather, it will be a day. It's going to be a day to remember regardless, buddy. You prepare for the worst and hope for the best. And I don't say that in any negative way. Take some waterproofs just in case. Don't turn up in Hawaiian shorts and a t-shirt or a string vest and flip-flops. You may get away with a Hawaiian shorts, a string vest and flip-flops, but take a set of waterproofs just in case. The British record for conga comes from Plymouth. Is that the amount of people that are like all round like a club dancing? Is that what that is? How many people's that? Is that a lot of people? A couple of hundred people? I hope we're unlocked by then. That's why we've scheduled it for the longest day. Daylight hours, weather opportunity, the tides projected. Lee's already projected what the tides are going to be. The tides are perfect for fishing for that species on that day in that location. Hopefully we've left no stone unturned. And absolutely, so Leigh deserves all the credit. He's given up his time. And none of this would even be possible if Leigh wasn't so graciously offering this up as a competition prize for the channel. And I really, truly am grateful for his support. He's an amazing guy. If you watch the video, seriously, you can see how supportive and how helpful he is. And wait, definitely getting his two pennething. Rich Reef just started my YouTube channel. In 6 months' time, a £200 skate from a boat in Oban would be an amazing addition to your channel, wouldn't it? It shows variation. Certainly put your name on the map if you manage to break the 200 barrier. I would like one. I came so close. I'm fairly confident. You can't call these things, and I totally understand that. But that one fish that I lost, I think that was a 200 pounder. I think that was my opportunity that day to have caught a 200 pound fish. I lost it. But 180 odd pounds not to be sniffed at. Cheers, Clive. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, buddy. It was a weird feeling, It was quite euphoric when it came through. It just comes through as an email, and they don't mince their words straight away. Your test result was negative, and then it gives you some caveats of when and how you can go back to work and all that kind of stuff. But I'm sure you already know that. Mr. LV, I'm glad you like the prize, buddy. Get your entry in. Mel Tate, yeah, get your entry in, buddy. Yeah, and Thomas Hill. Right, so I'm going to call it quits there, guys. As always, I like spending time with you. I do. It's nice to have that interaction where we're almost having a conversation, aren't we? I can hear the voices in the words that are coming up. And I'm really pleased that we can offer this as a competition prize. Leigh's excited. I'm excited. Stu's worried he's going to be seasick. So if anyone else is worried, Stu's got his reservations. I don't think there's any chance of that, to be honest. But yeah, all good. Get your entries in. 1 a month. Be a subscriber. Follow the channel. I appreciate the support. It's amazing. And because we're early in the season, beginning of the year, and once things start to change and restrictions lift, if anyone can guide in a local area for a specific fish, specific target species, ideally that's what I'd like, because I'd like to be able to function rigs, kit and turn up, be guided by someone, catch or not catch. There's no pressure on catching. You know, on the channel I show the good, the bad and the indifferent. It's called fishing, it's not called catching. But if you could offer a guide service for your local area, I'd love to visit. I genuinely would. I'd love to visit, fish with people, and see if we can knock out some species. I've entered, I did last year, didn't do too well, a species comp with Armed Forces veterans. So we run a species comp. I don't run it, it's run by someone else, but I'm going to enter. I need the most species that I can. So if it's that big, or that big, as long as it's different, and I can build my number up, I'm in the species comp this year. So you may hear some more about that. If I get excited for a specific capture or a venue or any of the above, if I get specifically excited about something, it might be because it's added to the species list. And I've got to go for a variety of species. So that's going to play a part this year as well. It's not going to be the driver, but it's going to be an addition, if that's right. The biggest skate of this year from Leigh's boat was a 208 pound. That's an amazing fish, that is. That is absolutely amazing. Mass fisherman happy to guide northwest, mate. Yeah, I'd love to. Just need this restriction. It's not. I don't think it's going to finish until April, May, March, April, and we're probably going to turn a corner. You know, with everything else that's going on. North Wales. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thank you for your time. As always, it's been a pleasure. Never a chore. I'll do my best to get some more videos out, get some more content out soon. Rig making, workshop videos, definitely some shore fishing. Don't be surprised if I put a shore fishing video up and I've blanked, because it is, we've got to stay local, and I know that fishing locally to where I am is hard work this time of year. Definitely hard work. But it's the taking part, not just the winning. That sounds stupid, doesn't it? But yeah, it is the taking part. So yeah, definitely some shore fishing videos. Rigs, I've got a couple of rigs in mind. A workshop video that I've got the outline of now. And I've got to catch up with the van, haven't I? I've got to catch up with the van. I've been so busy and I've been a bit idle, really. But yeah, thank you for your time. Take care, look after yourselves, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now. Good luck with the competition.